Julia is the Chief Executive at Advantage Travel Partnership, the UK's largest independent travel agent partnership. Julia, very good afternoon to you.
Roberto, hi there.
Julia, we were hoping this wasn't going to be the case, but it has resurfaced the problem. Travel restrictions are coming back. Is that a concern for travellers and indeed for the operators on these routes?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, and restrictions have continued and we're not travelling in a way that was pre-COVID. So it's a real worry. I mean, first and foremost, clearly we have to follow the experts and the scientists in this matter and ensure that public health comes first. But from an industry point of view, our job is to get people from A to B, and clearly any impact to that creates a great concern.
We spoke to Jimmy, listen to Jimmy in Bedford. He's got a holiday booked for the end of January in South Africa. He already knows that it's now at risk. The industry, your industry, has been through so much already. It hasn't quite returned to full capacity. It was slowly edging back into life. This, I guess, was the last thing you guys needed.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, confidence clearly gets a knock when you have anything like this of this magnitude, and like your caller there, Jimmy. Absolutely, there'll be a lot of people fretting that are looking to go out on holiday or visit friends and family. South Africa, a big contingent of family, expats and family members out there. So it's a really, really difficult time. And unfortunately, yes, our industry has not been back to normal. It's not trading back to normal. So anything like this creates huge uncertainty. The only thing I can say really to, I guess, reassure anybody is, if you're booking, please think about what you're booking. Make sure you've got financial protection. Flexible terms in today's world that we're living in are so critical, and just to make sure that you've got a travel agent there that can really help support you is so important, particularly when it's in a crisis.
Has there been a shift, Julie, in people returning to travel agents? Anyone could book anything they want online. We know that. But has there been a shift from people going back to real travel agents? Because what you want to do when a story like this breaks, if you book to go to, Namibia or South Africa over Christmas, for example, you don't want to be looking at a website for information. You want to be able to speak to someone and say, what's going on?
And you've hit the nail on the head. I think we can all do it ourselves. We can all, go online and book something. And actually, there's a role for that, and not dismissing that at all. But when you're faced in situations like we have over the last 20 months, and I mean, I had scenarios today where we had some of our members who had clients in South Africa. You have to get back before 4 a.m. on Sunday, or you face 10 days in hotel quarantine at £2,200. There's no getting away from that. You do not want to be looking at a website. You do not want to be holding on for a call centre to answer your phone. You need to speak to a professional to help guide you through. These are major changes, and to be able to do that on your own or, without being able to contact somebody can be exceptionally devastating and very traumatic.
Julia, look, I don't wish any harm because your colleagues I think the industry has suffered enough. But what is the worst case scenario that could happen to the travel industry, given this new... I mean, hopefully we'll find out that this variant responds well to vaccines. It doesn't have an impact, but the concern clearly is there from governments around the world. I mean, what is the worst case scenario for the travel industry here?
Well, I guess, it's the elephant in the room, isn't it, that we start to see, I mean, not just the travel, but all of us, we start to see more restrictions on our businesses, on our livelihoods, on our lives, because, we start to see the virus kind of transmitting across different nations. And so I think, it's very difficult to want to have a discussion about the science behind that, and I'm not an expert in that. But the worst case scenario would be that we do start to see the virus in other countries, and it starts to have an impact on international travel. So that would be a real devastation for everybody in our sector.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Julia, just on reflection, what has been happening in the last few weeks or last couple of months or so? Clearly the industry is not at the level it should be, or indeed it wants to be. But has there been much travel? Because you go to airports. I mean, I've fortunately flown twice in the last couple of months, very short trips, but it's a fantastic feeling to be able to fly again with all the restrictions but when you see all the retail units not open, when you don't get that, it's not what it used to be. It's quite sad, actually.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's. I think if you have flown like you, I have a couple of times now during the pandemic. I'm going again week after next, and I'm flying away. So, yeah, when you travel, you start to you start one. I think you remember the benefits that travel delivers, especially when when you get to the airport. It's not the same experience, but it was slowly getting back to normality. Yes, of course, you need to wear your face mask, and there's some restrictions that go with that. But I think once you do it, you then start to realise and remember why we travel and why it's so important for our mental well-being, our souls, but also for lots of different reasons, in particular if you're seeing family and friends. So yeah, travel's not the same. It's getting back to normal, and we have to be optimistic in that. I think there is a great opportunity for many travellers to make sure they can continue travelling in a safe environment, and keeping every finger and toe crossed as we speak as well.
Julia, thank you for joining us. Wish you well. Julia Bue-Said, Chief Executive at the Advantage Travel Partnership. You can text the programme 813